So you've probably heard the narrative, if you're gonna spend $1,000 on a phone, get the Galaxy Note 9, and after having used the phone myself, I believe that is indeed what you should do. While I could easily leave the review there and end the video, of course I want to share with you guys what it's like using the Note 9 as a daily driver. So I've been a Note user ever since the Note 3, and the Note has always been that phone for power users. Huge display, a stylus, big battery, tons of features, all that good stuff. With a few slip-ups along the way and the underwhelming battery performance of last year's Note, I can comfortably say that the power user's dream appears to be back with the Note 9. This is a scenario where if you're not going to take our word for it, you're going to have to use the phone to really get a full understanding of what it's about, and that it actually takes everything that made the Note 8 great and improved on what held it back, which has resulted in what I believe to be the absolute closest thing to a perfect smartphone available right now. Alright, so in terms of hardware, the Note 9 is a tank, and you should expect nothing less. You've got the usual glass and metal frame sandwich, but this time around, Samsung went with a chamfered edge, and I gotta say I do like this change. The phone is quite comfortable to hold, and the fingerprint scanner got repositioned to beneath the camera module for an easier reach. As a Note lover, one of my favorite iterations was the Note 4, so I had to go with a leather skin from Dbrand to get that rush of nostalgia and to protect the phone from ugly smudges and scratches. Another interesting thing to note, no pun intended, is that the side bezels on the Note 9 are actually ever so slightly larger than the ones on the Note 8. Big deal? Not at all, and I didn't even notice until someone pointed it out. If it's considered a problem, then it's also considered nitpicking because in my opinion it doesn't take away from just how beautiful this display is. And well, Samsung's done it again. You've got the best smartphone display out there right now, no doubt, at a whopping 6.4 inches, it's super sharp, it gets very bright, it's notchless, it is absolutely gorgeous. So as far as this phone being my daily driver, some of the things I was most excited for were the stereo speakers and the battery. Stereo speakers were one of the things missing on the Note 8. You got this big display to watch videos on and a sad, single, easily coverable bottom firing speaker. Thankfully, Samsung fixed that and implemented a stereo setup like we got with the S9, and as far as phone speakers go, these sound pretty great. With the battery, Samsung said, you know what, go big or go home, and they stuffed a 4,000 mAh battery into the phone. Samsung also boasted all-day battery life. So is that true? Well, I'm very happy to report that my Note 9 has given me the best battery performance out of any phone that I've used so far this year. With heavy use, I made it to a very impressive 7 hours of screen on time, which is well above average, and with light to moderate use, I didn't have to plug the phone in for well over 24 hours. I must note that I am using the Exynos model, so results will vary, but just know that whatever variant you do get, battery life will not be anything to worry about at all, as reported by many Snapdragon variant users. In terms of performance, the Note does an excellent job of handling each and every one of my tasks, and if it can handle my tasks, it can handle yours too. Gaming, social media, movie and video watching, business things like emails, signing documents, writing documents, browsing while watching videos, it just handles everything as it should. That water carbon cooling system seems to be doing its job as the phone hasn't overheated, albeit getting a little warm while gaming. RAM management is very solid. Overall, little to zero hitches at all. So far, so good. And what's exciting is that this performance and fluidity should last a good long time, as my S9 being a testament to that, because unlike the S8 and Note 8, over time I did not see any downward shifts in terms of fluidity and overall speed with that phone, so Samsung's definitely improving in that department. Now, what about the cameras? Well, there really isn't too much to talk about here because the cameras are pretty much the same ones we got on the S9 Plus, which isn't a bad thing in my opinion because the cameras on there are already great. So whatever results you'd get on there, you'll get on the Note 9 as well. That of course means getting great results in normal everyday shots. They're bright, sharp, and vibrant. They're solid low light performance. The cameras themselves are fast. There are tons and tons of features. Videos look and sound great as well. Just overall some of the best smartphone cameras out there. One thing Samsung did include is something we've seen from other companies like Huawei and LG, and that's a scene optimizer powered by AI. If you don't know what that is, it basically detects what the camera is pointing at and it'll adjust what it thinks it should in order to get a better looking shot. I will say it's not horrible, but it's not great either, and I went ahead and turned that off as it actually made some of my pictures look worse. Now getting into what makes the Note, the S Pen. I, along with a lot of other Note lovers, have been wanting Samsung to add functionality to this thing for a while, and this year they finally did it. And they're so proud of it that it's actually the only thing you see on the front of the box when you get the phone. So along with all of the usual S Pen features we all know and love, you now get remote features, so you can pause, play, and skip music tracks. You can use it to control a slide presentation. You can use it to launch the camera to take pictures and selfies. Some pretty neat things here, and I like the thought behind them. I know people out there that like to doodle with the S Pen will like the ability to control their music while they're drawing. So all in all, not groundbreaking features, but I cannot put them in the gimmick category. They're pretty useful. The Galaxy Note 9 is not a cheap phone, we all know this, and it's especially a tough pill for a lot of people to swallow when Samsung still can't seem to keep up with Android updates. As of this video, we still have no official word on when this phone is getting the upgrade to Android 9.0 Pie. But with more phones climbing closer and closer to that $1,000 mark, the Note 9 is your best bet at justifying that price tag. As our own David Ruddick puts it, the Note does and has just about everything. It's the Swiss Army knife of smartphones. We're talking best display, great battery life, great feature-packed cameras, a headphone jack, wireless charging, water and dust resistance, face and iris scanning, stereo speakers, expandable storage, you got the S Pen, the list just goes on. All in all, I gotta say that the Galaxy Note 9 is the best smartphone out there right now. It's by no means perfect, but in my opinion, it is the closest thing to it. So what are your thoughts on the Galaxy Note 9? Let us know by dropping your comments down below. As always, we love to hear your feedback. But anyway, that does it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Feel free to let us know by hitting that like button, subscribe to the Android Police channel if you're new. I will talk to you guys later, and thank you so much for watching.